Hey guys, JamesMCD Reviews here. Welcome to another episode of the Cinematic Bucket List series, and today we're going to be talking about
Chicago, the 2002 movie adaptation of the Broadway musical directed by Rob Marshall.
So, two things, if it wasn't obvious enough from that opening clip. One, it's taken me way too long to cover this movie, not just in terms of how long I've been living here, but I watched this movie back in July, and I've been meaning to do a video on it for several weeks now, and I'm just a lazy motherfucker. Also, my original idea for this video was to go around and film man on the street style in front of some different Chicago architecture and different landmarks and places in the city, just to make it a little bit more interesting. But not only was it super exhausting to go out and film that stuff, but I looked at the footage and did not like what I saw, so I just decided to scrap everything except for that intro and just keep to this standard sitting in front of a camera and talking thing, so sorry. But yes, this movie centers around struggling vaudeville star Roxy Hart, who is sent to prison and tried for the murder of her ex-lover. While there, she comes across loudmouth defense attorney Billy Flynn, who helps her manipulate the press and use her crime as a way to jumpstart her into a new place of fame and notoriety. So now she has to shithouse her way through her trial while also competing with another vaudeville star turned murderess, Velma Kelly, played by Catherine Zeta-Jones, and musical hijinks and all that fun stuff ensues. Now, I say this every time I cover a movie adaptation of a Broadway musical. I have not seen the stage show because I'm an uncultured piece of shit. So if there are things in this movie that are missing from the stage show, or things that they did differently, or things they got wrong, I won't know. I'm sure, anyone who's in the theater space who has seen the original musical will be quick to correct me on that in the comments, and I'd love to hear from you. But I'm just basing this off of what I saw in the movie, and from what I saw, this is pretty fucking awesome. The place that the movie shines the most is in the visuals. Particularly during the musical sequence. The way that they're framed as, taking place, in an actual, vaudeville theater and being these big, elaborate, musical numbers made to sort of reflect the situation or the character's inner thoughts. I don't think I've ever seen that done from a movie musical before. It's always just this standard, characters in the environment suddenly breaking out into song. But no, these were I thought this was a really creative and unique way of telling this type of story. I would say more musicals should take notes of this, this sort of storytelling style, but I feel like this type of style only works for a movie like Chicago. The cinematography and editing during all these sequences was fantastic. The lighting, everything, it's just a feast for the eyes. And even when it's, just back to the real world, talking bits, it's still pretty solid as well. Speaking on the musical sequences, the music in this is also really well done. I don't think every song is a banger. There are some songs that I could just flat out do without. But I like that the soundtrack it's not just one type of song all the way through. It's very diversified. There's different, styles and everything like that. The standout by far, not just in, the song itself, but also the sequence surrounding it, is the Cell Block Tango. Just everything about that scene, I was rewatching and listening to that song over and over again after I watched this movie for good reason. It's so well put together. The way it's shot, the way it's framed, the way it's edited, just the song itself is just really catchy and badass and everything like that. In a lesser movie, that would have been the song where the movie peaks, and then it's just kind of lightly coasts from there. But even going off of that, there are still some really epic, well put together songs, the Billy Flynn's ventriloquist act when he's talking to the press, the courtroom tap dancing sequence, all that stuff, the ending with Velma and Roxy, doing their dance on stage with the guns and everything like that. This movie is just so electrifying and just fun to watch. I also really like the characters. I thought all the actors involved were great. I was surprised to see people like John C. Reilly in this, but Renee Zellweger and Catherine Zeta-Jones both did great. Richard Gere as Billy Flynn was very, very charming and likable, but in kind of a dickish way. And the characters themselves, like, just seeing the lengths they go to get their way is just really funny, and it speaks a lot to, you know, especially nowadays, like the lengths people will go to for, you know, spotlight and attention and everything like that. I just love how, like, sociopathically competitive Roxy and Velma get with each other until finally they're like, you know what, they're never gonna, like, they're not interested in two of us separately anymore, so let's just come together, even though we kind of hate each other. I kind of liked that. The story isn't anything to write home about. It's pretty standard and pretty simple, but I think it works for this type of movie. This is the type of movie where you don't really go to analyze the story and everything like that. You go to be entertained, and, you know, I was thoroughly entertained watching this. The only thing that, like, is kind of weird was that none of it was actually shot in Chicago. Like, I think most of it was shot in, like, Toronto or something, but I mean, that's really the only, like, complaint that I could really lobby against this movie. Aside from that, really solid, all things considered. So yeah, go check this movie out if you haven't already. I believe it's still on HBO Max at the time I'm recording this. It won't be everyone's cup of tea, but I had fun watching it, and the visuals and music especially carried it through. So going to my ranking, I would have to give Chicago a 4 out of 5. Anyway, that does it for this video. Let me know down in the comments what you think of Chicago if you've seen it. What do you like about it? What do you don't like about it? And what are some of your favorite movie adaptations of musicals? Let me know all that stuff down below. And tune in next time where we talk about a musical that has a little less jazz and a lot more murder. Sorry, I don't have a straight razor, so this is the best that I could do. Until next time, sure to like, subscribe, ring the notification bell so you can stay up to date on when I'm posting. Follow me on all my social media, subscribe to my main channel. Everything you need to know will be in the description. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you later.